it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, January 8th. Okay, so we have the moon in Sagittarius all day. So we are kind of more strongly aligned with an optimistic perspective. We are pushing the boundaries as far as our emotions are concerned. We're really exploring new depths of who it is that we are, a new belief system, what our new wants, needs, desires, passions are, what it is that we want to manifest, what it is that we want to expand on. So this is a high vibe, big picture type of energy. Now, of course, we will have aspects here today that want to bring that high vibe, imagination, fantasy, vision, and dream into a realistic, achievable, attainable type of goal. But nonetheless, we are going to be pushing the boundaries on just discovering new parts of what it is that we want, need, and desire for our futuristic selves. Okay, so there are 9 different aspects taking place here today. 6 of them going to involve the moon. The moon in Sag is going to make a very uncomfortable interaction with Jupiter. Jupiter rules over the Sag energy, so anytime we're interacting with the ruler of the energy that the moon is in, there's always a little bit more of an intensity there. Jupiter, of course, is in this Taurus energy. We are freshly direct in it. We went direct at the very end of December. We still haven't really acclimated to the powerhouse energy that Jupiter now direct in this Taurus energy is going to mean for us. But this particular interaction is putting a little bit of a squeeze on us, where it is that we're not feeling so optimistic, not confident enough to actually make the changes, the transformations in our physical realm that we felt pretty strongly about even just yesterday, let alone a couple of weeks ago. This is where we start questioning ourselves, where we start understanding that the hopes, the wishes, the dreams that we're trying to kind of manifest in our inner realm, where we're trying to get that visual right, where it's kind of conflicting with the opportunities of our current reality. And of course, Jupiter wants us to push the boundaries of our current reality so that we can grow, we can expand, we can create new opportunities of happiness, joy, safety, security, and stability in our lives. But right now, we're just not feeling it. And so when we take a good look at our physical realms, we become overwhelmed with what it is that we're no longer resonating with, and therefore realize what it is that we have to change. But emotionally speaking, we just don't know how to do that right now. We don't understand how we're going to get from where it is that we're at to where it is that we desire to be, and we start getting a little bit hard on ourselves. The moon is then going to interact with the North Node in Aries energy in not a favorable way, which is going to kind of intensify this earlier interaction, putting us in a state of confusion, putting us in a state of just being more focused on the blockages, the challenges, the obstacles, than having that big picture tunnel vision of, nothing's going to stop us, nothing's going to hold us back. We're going after what it is that we want to go after type of vibe that we're naturally suited in when the moon is in Sagittarius energy. This is going to put us in a situation where we are starting to pick ourselves apart, especially where we're trying to anchor this new version of self in. We're really kind of skeptical on whether this new version of self feels comfortable or not, or whether this new version of self actually has what it's going to take in order for us to break away from what once was and really launch us into what could be. So there's a lot of hesitation, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of doubt, a lot of insecurity coming up for us right now, especially trying to decide and define the strategy needed in order to actually move forward. So here's where things get interesting. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money. She's in Sag energy. So again, Sag energy, big ideals, big discovery, especially with the change of heart, the new wants, needs, desires, priorities that our soul space wants us to pursue for ourselves. Venus is going to be making a positive interaction with Jupiter. So again, Jupiter is the ruler of the Sagittarius energy that the moon is in and that Venus is in. And Jupiter magnifies, turns the volume all the way up on whatever energy we are currently experiencing. So lucky for us, this is a positive interaction. Venus and Jupiter are coming together and highlighting for us in situations and circumstances, especially in relationship dynamics where we haven't been on the same page, where it is that we could open ourselves up to a little bit more compromise. We're more in a mood to kind of cooperate with the people around us. We are more apt to kind of stand in the whole perspective of giving the benefit of the doubt. We are more in a mood and an attitude to forgive, to release some kind of energy, the funk that we've been holding on to. We're just at a point where we want to kind of reset some of the dysfunctional relationship dynamics that we found ourselves in. This is going to also put us in a situation where we are kind of pushing the boundaries of what we hope for, what we're really desiring as far as, copacetic relationship dynamics actually grow into. We are really thinking about new ideas, new ways, new methods of interacting, of expressing ourselves, of trying to get on the same page. And so overall, this is a very feel-good type of energy. We are much more agreeable. We are much more open-hearted, open-minded. We are much more in control to push the not so nice thoughts and feelings that we've been sitting in away, like to compartmentalize them for a minute, to just kind of give ourselves the space to kind of meet each other halfway. Now, the moon is going to go ahead and make a positive interaction with Jupiter shortly thereafter. So this is like the restoration, if you will, of our optimistic point of view, of our confidence, of our hopes, our wishes, our dreams. Like we get a little bit down on ourselves earlier in the day, and then Venus and Jupiter kind of got together and kind of opened up our mind, opened up our heart space to trying new things. And then emotionally speaking, the moon is in Sagittarius energy, is just kind of renewing our faith that, everything is going to be okay. That those darker times, that funk that we're sitting in, they don't last forever. That we can change our mind, our mood, our attitude at the snap of the fingers and really just push the boundaries of our inner realm, of our inner growth. Then the moon bumps into, teams up with Venus. So of course they're both in Sag energy, and the moon and Venus coming together in this Sag energy really pushes the boundaries of our new wants, new needs, new desires, and perspective on what it is that we actually feel deserving of. So this is like a refreshing type of energy to put us in the heart space to figure out where it is that there has been a change of heart, where it is that there are new values, new priorities that we want to kind of, move closer to and obtain for ourselves, because it's fulfilling a void within us that has been very open, raw, vulnerable, and exposed, that now we're taking charge of in order to fill that void up. Whereas normally we'd be looking outside of ourselves for somebody else to come in and really fulfill that void within us without us even speaking those words. But because, the North Node, South Node are on this Aries and Libran axis, we are pulling away from codependent relationships. We are pulling away from needing external sources to fill the voids within ourselves. And we are doing the work that needs to be done in order to build ourselves back up. We love this for us. Now, of course, we're going to sit in this positive energy, I would say, for probably 3.5, 4 hours tops. And then things are going to get a little bit shaky because the moon in Sag is going to semi-square Pluto. Pluto is in the final degrees of this Capricorn energy. He intensifies things. He puts us in a deep, deep-seated perspective in our psyche, in our narratives, in our conditioning. And there is an intense focus that needs to come forth in order for us to get real, raw, and vulnerable with what it is that we actually want for ourselves. But of course, the semi-square creates tension and conflict. Why is this happening, you may ask? Well, same old, same old. The Sag energy that the moon is in, living in la la land, dreaming just the biggest dream possible. The Capricorn energy that Pluto's in gives us a little bit of a reality check, needs us to come back down to earth a little bit, needs us to understand that without us doing the work within ourselves and in our external realm to break away from the old narratives, the old belief system, the old pain, the old trauma, and build a new structure, a new foundation of how it is that we think, how it is that we feel, how it is that we operate in this world, that we're likely not going to get anything different than what it is that we've already got. And so here the moon in Sag just taking us to the absolute extreme of what it is that we hope, wish, and desire for ourselves. The Plutonian energy is like reality check. You need to change a lot about yourself in your inner realm. where your emotions, where your thoughts, where your memories are concerned, in order for you to break away from living in la la land and actually get to work in the here and now, to destroy the old, to clean the slate, to start building towards the new. So this again is just a little bit of a reality check that again does not feel good. The moon is then going to trine, beautiful interaction with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is direct in Aries energy. This is fire on fire action. Sag energy is fire, Aries energy is fire. What we love about fire is, first of all, it provides us an opportunity to burn through the cords that are keeping us attached to the old, especially where Chiron's involved. This is the old version of self. The fire energy is very cleansing, very regenerative, very creative, very inspiring, very motivating, very initiating. So this is the point in time where we realize, due to the earlier interactions, the earlier realizations, the epiphanies, the aha moments, where it is that we have some work to do on ourselves, where it is that building in this new identity, building in this new version of self requires us to get real and raw and vulnerable with what we believe, again, Sag energy, we can actually achieve in this lifetime, in this pursuit of happiness, of safety, of security, of stability. And so emotionally speaking, we are realizing where it is that new parts of self need to really be embodied, integrated, and anchored in order for us to break away from the old, in order for us to move closer to the new, and for us to be operating on a realistic approach to the big visions, hopes, wishes, and dreams that we're currently trying to visualize and therefore eventually manifest. Now, here's where things take a little bit of a downturn. Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves, still in his post-retrograde shadow period until the 20th. So we're not functioning at our most optimal space and speed in our mental plane. Mercury is going to get into the boxing ring and square off with Neptune. Neptune, of course, in his place of power in this Pisces energy. And so, first of all, Neptune is the very highest octave of where we kind of receive insight, inspiration from the higher realms. We bring it into the mental plane, the lower level intellect that Mercury rules over. We gift it with structure. We put thought into it. We plan, we strategize on how it is that we're going to bring some of these creative force energies to life. Well, this is a square. This is a not so nice vibe. And so this is going to be very challenging in our mental plane. First of all, it's going to be very hard to concentrate, very hard to focus, very hard to communicate our inner realm to the outer realm, very hard to kind of follow directions and instructions. There's a vagueness, there's a wish-washiness that we're getting from this Neptune and Pisces energy. Our perceptions are off. We're just living in Delulu land at this point. And a lot of that is from that Neptune and Pisces energy. And so because our perceptions are off, we're hella confused. And we're overly, I'm going to say, in la la land, because again, that Sag energy that Mercury's in just has us biting off way more than we can chew as far as hopes, wishes, and dreams go. And again, as we've been learning, we're just not conjuring up realistic visions and dreams for us to actually achieve. And so this particular interaction, it really is going to illuminate where it is that wishful thinking is almost borderline delusional at this point. And we are having a hard time really understanding what is real, what is the truth, because we don't want to face it. We don't want to anchor into it. We're having a hard time accepting this new version of self in all of its glory, understanding the new roles and responsibilities that we have to boss up into with this new version of self. And it's really hard to kind of understand what's going on within us and in our outer realms as well. So although we're kind of, it's almost like we are flicking through the channels of possibilities, different ideas, different goals, different dreams, but we're hitting the next, page too quickly. So we're only seeing little tiny glimpses. Again, scatterbrained energy from Sag energy, can't focus. We're bouncing all over the place. We think that we're onto something. Realistically speaking, we can't articulate it. We don't even understand it ourselves. So really what we're doing is we're just wasting valuable mental energy on conjuring up a vision and a dream that doesn't even make sense to us in our inner realm. So why bother trying to put it into words and explain it to other people? This is just a funky energy that we have to sit in. What it is going to do, though, is it's going to put us in a very intense situation to question everything. And we need to be doing more of that, especially once Jupiter moves into Gemini energy here in May. That's one of the major transits we got going on this year. Once that happens, we need to magnify all of the information that we thought we knew. We need to question it all. We need to debate it all. We need to come to some sort of new truth, new perspective, new understanding of what the F is going on in our inner realm and in our external realm around us. But this particular interaction definitely going to challenge our inner realm, our mental narrative. The last thing that we have going on, it's a beautiful, beautiful contrast, is that Mercury is going to be interacting in a positive way with Uranus. Okay, so why do I think that this is a good thing? Well, first of all, Uranus is the great awakener. He gives us aha moments. He gives us epiphanies. He opens up our minds. He shows us different ways. He gives us a different perspective and understanding. Well, Uranus is retrograde, so there's a lot of inner reflection that we're doing here in Taurus energy. So the whole lesson of Uranus being retrograde in Taurus energy is to show us where it is that we're the block, we're the problem. We want all of these hopes, these wishes, these dreams. We want this new reality. We want to reach these goals, these visions. But guess what? We're holding on to what it is that we've already built, what it is that we've already created for dear life, that we don't even have a hand free to answer the door when opportunity knocks. And so Uranus's whole point here is to illuminate for us where it is that we have all the ingredients for the cake, but we're not mixing them together to actually make the cake. We're confused on how a cake could actually come out of these ingredients. And Uranus is trying to get us prepped, ready, and prepared for making the changes that are necessary in order to advance ourselves towards our goals. Uranus is the highest form of our intellect. Mercury is the lowest form of our intellect. So anytime we have an epiphany pop off, that Uranian energy sends a lightning bolt down from the higher realms of intelligence, from the cosmos. It shocks us. It disrupts our flow. It makes us know things that we can't unknow. And then we bring it into the lower level intellect that Mercury rules over, and we're like, what the F? What am I supposed to do with this? This is amazing. I made this connection. I have these puzzle pieces. I have a bigger picture of the puzzle revealed. What am I supposed to do with this? So what I love about this energy is that, first of all, it's going to bring major changes to that confusing state that we were sitting in. It's going to provide us with a lot of answers that we were confused about, that we were lacking clarity on. And once we have those answers, then we have to do something with it. And it's almost like this is the first domino that needs to fall in order for us to be in the right place at the right time to get out of our own damn way. When opportunity knocks on the door again, we're going to let go of what it is that we've been holding on to so tightly, and we're going to run our asses to that door and answer that door in the quickest fashion we've ever answered it. We got to be prepared to go with the flow, to roll, to not be dragged. And this is prepping us and really putting us in the right mind space in order to understand the big changes are on their way, and we have to be ready to accept them when they decide to knock on our door.